Greetings, Dr. Joseph Martin here. Astral plane, soul, dreams, and emotions. This is part one of two. Well, what is the etymology of the word astral? It comes from a Latin word astrum, which means star. And that's exactly where we get astrology from. It's the study of the stars. But it's the study of the soul as well, because the soul has the light of a star. If you were to look at it in your astral form, say we have an astral body, we say there are astral spirits, and that we have astral connections. There's an astral current, which is electricity, electromagnetivity that runs through us, and we have astral connections to other collectives and so on. All this is part of the fourth dimension of what it means to be human. What is the definition of the astral? The astral energy or the astral plane, it's a supersensible, more highly refined energy field than the physical body or the third dimension. So for instance, when I've done over 38, maybe 40 years now, dream analysis from a Jungian dream perspective, in which I've noticed as people go deeper into their dreams, onwards and upwards into their innermost identity through their heart and soul, they find their truest and their highest and their real identity. And the soul does exist in the fourth dimension and, of course, in the higher dimensions, and it is an astral light. Now, why do we say that the soul is your highest identity? We know that in all the cultures of the world, as an anthropologist, I know that all the ancient and modern tribes and bands and societies have, and religions as well, and cultures have some notion of the soul existence in their ancient texts and in their mythologies, in their stories, and in their daily life. Now, nevertheless, the scientific world in modern times has said through Ayn Rand and other people that we only have a logic and a rationality, that there is no soul and there is no spirit. Nothing could be further from the truth. For the soul, experiencing itself in a physical form is like a soul taking on a car. This physical body, this form, is just a car. Now, if you were driving your car around, would you say that the car is who you are? Or would you say that you're the being inside the car? Now, of course, that's notwithstanding the fact that some people who have some inconvenient misunderstanding that they're so needy in terms of their lack of self-worth that they need to have a big car in order to build an ego, and I'm sure that they will grow through that. Now let's get back to the astral condition. So we know that the fourth dimension is where you go at night when you travel. Some people do astral traveling at night. Whether or not you know it, you probably do and likely do. And also, all dreams come from the fourth dimensional astral world reality. In this place, you can travel back in time, forward in time, in the present time. You can travel to other locations on the earth, in the earth, above the earth. You can meet with people you know quite well and have some kind of astral discussion with them about your upcoming day or your business or your love life or relationship. You can speak with your departed ones, the so-called astral spirits who've transitioned back to just being in the fourth dimension and perhaps awaiting a reincarnation into the third dimension, which is the only place you can have to do the inner transformational work. More of this in part two of this video. So you can astral travel, you can travel to the moon, you can travel to the sun, you can travel to any other planet in our solar system, and you can travel to another galaxy, including the Milky Way galaxy. All these are perspectives of what can happen in the astral realm. Now, we know that every planet has an astral body, an astral field, an astral consciousness. In these places, we have memories from collective mythologies from, say, Tibet and India and many other cultures, and the Chinese and the First Nations, including the Haudenosaunee, which is my identity as a Mohawk man, where we know that our peoples have come from and or travel to daily the Mars, Venus, the Moon, the Pleiades, or the center of the sun. And in all of these places, there are actual schools or temples or training centers or learning centers, if you like, that are directed by leaders or councils or members who give you ongoing training of the things that you have yet to learn in your ongoing infinite growth and evolution as a permanent being in this universe. You'll always be around as a soul. And there you learn the things that you need to learn, and you might become a master in one realm, and then we all, even old souls, have a lot to learn on other levels, so we can grow infinitely throughout our eternity in this universe. Now, on the astral plane, there are many things that can happen in this fourth dimension. Other videos will talk about the fifth and sixth and seventh and higher dimensions, but let's just stay with the fourth dimension. We know that in daily life, for instance, when you have a déjà vu is something that you remember seeing or experiencing in a dream. The fourth dimension is the realm of clear, perfect intuition, and many of you are on the path to developing, as I have been trying to do for myself, perfect intuition. This has helped so much during my time as a dream analyst in the Jungian form and a lot of other modalities, to the point where I've been gifted with an ongoing intuition to be able to not only to read people's hearts and minds, but to give them spiritual consultation about their past, present, and future lives as well. And maybe you will be on that path as well. On this plane, there have been many prophets on this planet: Jesus, Nostradamus, Buddha, the Hopi elders, the Mohawk elders, many of the First Nations elders, people from all over the earth that say that they come from the dream time, the fourth dimension. And while they're here in the physical, in the third dimension, in a physical form, they can make prophecies about the future. And many of them have. John the Divine in the book of Revelations, of course, that's what this whole thing is about. Predicting what may happen in the future in the historicity of planet Earth. Well, what is the astral plane then exactly? Well, most cultures on this planet would say, and most teachers, whether we're speaking from anthroposophy or theosophy or just people who do know, spiritual scientists, say that there are 7 realms in the astral plane, and these can be subdivided into 7 more subsections, so 49 subsections altogether. And these are in higher or increasing areas or frequencies of energy. Now we know that in the astral plane there are only lifetrons. Your soul is made of lifetrons. What are lifetrons? This is what Yogananda speaks about. Lifetrons are what Einstein and other people in quantum electrodynamics have found, which are photons or quanta of light that is wave and particle at the same time. That's what lifetrons are. Your soul is only light. There are no physical atoms in your lifetron atom, your astral body, unlike your physical body, which is made up of the atoms, as we know: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, and so on and so on. Your astral body, which is your soul and your truest and highest identity, is made up of light, love, lifetrons. Highly energized, mostly electrical in current, and they do have some magnetic component to that, but we'll get to that in another phase. Sri Yukteswar, Yogananda's guru, has said that, in this Dwapara Yuga, which is the Yuga cycle where we're all collectively on planet Earth moving back to a consciousness where we will be increasingly aware of higher states of superconsciousness, that we will understand that the soul also is deeply magnetic. When you're magnetically attracted to a flower, a bird, a person, it's that deep love and that light that pervades everything and connects you to someone else. The astral body, your soul, actually pervades the ethers and the complete space of all of the universe. Your being is not just centralized within, say, your heart or your mind or this physical form at all. 24/7, 365, your astral body in the astral plane can be magnetically present in every part of the universe, in the ethers and the akasha. The Akasha, by the way, exists in the fourth and fifth and higher dimensions, and it is the place where you can go and read the library to find out through your deepest, highest, purest intuition, clearly and cleanly, what has gone on in your past lives or other people's as well, and the future lives as well. Dreams, therefore, are the royal road to the superconscious. I'm reformulating what Freud said. He said, 1900, that it was the royal road to the unconscious, and yes, it is. More of this in the next video, part 2. But really, the soul, as you become known to yourself in your truest, highest spiritual, mental, and emotional identity, you will realize that that aspect of yourself is your own true identity and highest nature. And therefore, as you do the work, the inner work, which we'll speak of next in part 2, you will raise your consciousness and vibrations to the superconsciousness. And eventually, through the cleaning up of the mind unconscious and the unifying of the mind from all its partitions and fractures, and the healing of all the emotions that you have going on, grief, sadness, loneliness, anger, dread, all these and more, that you will find there is no separation. You will move towards a unity, and that's the goal of the Christ consciousness inside you. Could be called the Buddha consciousness, Krishna consciousness, the White Buffalo Calf Wound consciousness, the Babaji consciousness, all of this and more, until eventually you get to the highest state, which is cosmic consciousness, pre-creation, pre-atoms, where there is just dark energy and dark matter, which all our quantum electrodynamic physicists are now finding out on the planet. And in another 100, 200, 300 years, physicists will be mystics. And that's the goal of conscious collective evolution on the planet. So let's just recap all this. The fourth dimension is a higher energy excitation level of lifetrons that is mostly electrical. It is a real space. It is the Akasha. It is the ether. It's the place where your soul resides. All the stars of the universe reside. And when you leave this planet in your physical form and drop the car, as I've said, or drop the physical overcoat, as the Dalai Lama would have it, then you transition easily and naturally into the fourth dimension. Now, the fact is that the astral plane and the astral dimensions of your soul exist all the time while you're still here in the third dimension, having your physical existence from birth to death and transitioning beyond. So please do know that the astral plane always exists in and around you, inside the physical body and out into your so-called astral body, which can be anywhere from 3 feet outside your physical form to 50 miles as you get to know yourself more. It's said that the Buddha, his astral body was 50 miles wide, and people knew when he was walking through the forests. This astral body, therefore, is something to get to know while you're still here in the physical form. Very, very important. How do you get to know it? By meditation, by Kriya Yoga, by deepening your intuitional intelligence, by deepening your emotional intelligence, absolutely by doing dream work. And I would highly suggest and recommend that you do Jungian dream work, where we look at the deep symbolism of our dreams and the energy fields and the archetypes and the collective nature. The past lives of yourself will come through in Jungian dream analysis. This I know, I've had thousands of clients for about 40 years now here, and it's been very gratifying to listen to them, to watch them grow, and to re-identify with their soul and disidentify with their physical form. That is what it really means to evolve and grow as a soul and as a being of an eternal nature here on planet Earth and in this universe. So soul work, inner work, process work, transformational work, dream work, spiritual path, taking yourself seriously, finding greater self-worth through all these means. And I highly bless you, and really my heart and love just go right out to you, because this is the time on planet Earth in the early 21st century where people of all backgrounds, ages, cultures, religions, orientations, women, young people, babies even, are moving to a higher superconsciousness and understanding more about the fourth dimension as the whole collectivity of the human species moves into the fourth dimension, a higher reality of love and light and consciousness and evolution and growth and development and unity within ourselves. The opposites and the complementarities of ourselves start to come together. The dark and the light are seen as one as we transform them to a higher super consciousness and a higher energy level. All this and more. I hope this has inspired you as just a beginning. There will be many more videos on this topic. Highly essential, and share this with your friends, and all good luck and all blessings and love for you on your path. Dr. Joseph Martin. See you in part 2.